Alrighty, so I'm thinking about starting up a new series on my channel dealing with individual airframes of certain types, particularly some of the aircraft that I've come into contact with during my time in the aviation community. So to start that off, I thought we'd look at 52-4689, an F-86F-30 Sabre. Now, this is not just any Sabre. This Sabre is regarded as one of the last to retire from military service, which it did in 1994, nearly 50 years after the Sabre entered service. This Sabre was built by North American Aviation at their factory in Inglewood, California. From there it was delivered to the United States Air Force in April of 1953, starting with the 21st Fighter Bomber Wing of Tactical Air Command based out of George Air Force Base in California. In March of 1954, the aircraft was transferred to the 401st Fighter Bomber Group of Tactical Air Command based out of Alexandria Air Force Base, which would later be renamed England Air Force Base, in Louisiana. In December of 1954, the aircraft was again transferred, this time to the 322nd Day Fighter Wing based out of Foster Air Force Base in Texas. In July of 1955, 52-4689 was moved to the Sacramento Air Material Area at McLennan Air Force Base in California and was subsequently dropped from the United States inventory and transferred to Venezuela in October of 1955 under the Mutual Defense Assistance Plan. From October of 1955 until sometime in 1971, 52-4689 was operated by the Venezuelan Air Force. In June of 1974, the aircraft was sold to the Bolivian Air Force with the tail marking FAB-658, where it would serve until 1994. Since its retirement from Bolivian Air Force service in 1994, the aircraft made its way back to the United States to a museum located at Fort Worth Meacham International Airport in Fort Worth, Texas, the Vintage Flying Museum. Thus concludes this short little episode on a certain aircraft. Join me next time for another rather famous aircraft, the Boeing B-29 Superfortress, known as Fifi.